Alright, now that you got Guitar Pro installed, let's go over the you are going to want to use practice with the thing. Alright, so got some of these panels here so you know what's kind of going on. Program. So this left panel here, this is where a little bit more. Go. Okay. Left panel over here, like your note duration. You get your whole note, half note, quarter note, 16, or eighth note, 16. That's 32nd, that's 64th. Those are silly fast. Anyway, just different format symbols you can add to different things. So that's what's going on over here. Basically, like your note duration, your note value, stuff like that. Right panel. This is like song information. Also, you can click on the track over here and then change the tuning, change what sound. So that's more in-depth stuff. That's really not important right now. Neither is this panel really until you start writing your own stuff. Just wanted to show you what these panels are. And then this one here, the middle button up here is for the bottom panel. And that is where your guitar track is going to be. You can add other guitar or other tracks, other instrument tracks, and of mute things, solo things. You can change the volume of it all. But your most important thing is to be up here. So when you're going to play along with this, I want you to do these three dots over here. Make sure your metronome volume's all the way up. And I'm going to make sure that these two things are highlighted. So, hourglass, that is, have your count in. So it'll, this, because it's the 4/4 time signature, it's going to have 4 clicks before you start. And then you want this on, because that's your metronome. That's going to keep clicking throughout. You hear the MIDI guitar and the metronome going at the same time. So, play button, or you can also, when your cursor's at the beginning here, you can also just hit the space bar. So on. So spacebar will also stop it, but it's going to stop where you're at. So what I'd like you to do when you're following this stuff here is usual approach that we do. You know, we're still start at the 40, run through that, correct. Then you're going to come up here, where the 40 is, just underneath the metronome and the count in. Click on that. Type in the next speed, hit enter. Good. So you have to have your cursor at the beginning. You're going to change the tempo, because if your cursor is over here and you go to change the tempo, now you got 2 tempos. So that's why you want that cursor beginning every time you go to change the tempo. As far as using it exclusively, I don't think that's necessary yet. What I mean by that is maybe spend half the time, at least half the time, practicing with Guitar Pro. Maybe even like 75% of the time, that might be okay. When we meet up again in 2 weeks for the demonstration for you going through everything, I'm going to want you to play to regular metronome, and let's see how well things worked out by following this stuff. Let's see. So those are the main things there. tempo, changing that. Make sure your metronome and the count in are on. That's it. That's the most important stuff for you. All right. Demo 40. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, 120. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, number 2. 40. 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a very difficult rhythm to get any speed out of because it's too easy to drift over into the new downbeat. So we make it easier following the MIDI guitar. So when you go back to just the metronome, it will be very difficult. You can also go back to like those polyrhythms from last time, long things, because we got 2 weeks. Just follow along with Guitar Pro and see how that works for you. Should make things. And yeah, so now you can fill things out in Guitar Pro. That'd be a very good thing to do. Good skill to have. Alright, so when you're filling this stuff out, basically you just put your cursor where you want the note. Use the arrow keys, move it around. Type in the number of the fret that you want, whatever. Not fret 57, Jesus. Yeah, just do that, and then what you can do. Um, so once get the arpeggio stuff in there, and if you would rather just print it out and write it, that's still fine. Either way. But if you start using Guitar Pro, what you want to do is input the chord name. You hit the letter A. Letter A brings up that chord diagram box. Make sure display diagrams is off. So turn that off. And you just type in the chord name here. Type it in up there. Hit OK. Chord name. So, all right. So I believe that covers it all. But if you have any questions with what to do, how to use this stuff, let me know. I'll see you again in 2 weeks.